All the children are at the playground talking and having a good time when someone mentions the gospel.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the gospel?
What's the gospel, Caesar?
The gospel is the good news about Jesus. He came to save us from our sins.
That sounds amazing. How can we share this good news with others?
We can tell our friends and family about Jesus and how he changed their lives.
But what if people make fun of us for believing in Jesus?
We shouldn't be ashamed of the gospel. Jesus said, "Whoever is ashamed of me and my words, the Son of Man will be ashamed of them when he comes in his glory."
You know, I once tried to share the gospel with my pet goldfish.
Really? What happened?
Well, I started telling him about Jesus, and he just stared at me with his fishy eyes. I guess he wasn't ready to accept the good news. Hi everyone. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation. I have a story to share with you all being unashamed of the gospel.
What's the story, Daniel?
It's the story of how I was thrown into the lion's den because I refused to stop praying to God.
That sounds scary, Daniel. Were you afraid?
At first, I was scared, but I knew that God was with me. I trusted him and was unashamed of my faith. Have a seat. I will tell you the story. A long time ago,
King Darius the Mede is in his castle making plans for his kingdom and all is good until...
What's this idea about Daniel and his faith in God? I am impressed by his courage. He is my most trusted officer.
thank you, your majesty. I serve the one true God and will not be ashamed of my faith.
The other advisors are jealous of the praise the king shows Daniel, so they come up with a plan.
Your Majesty, we have been talking and we suggest making a law that no one can pretend God or man except you, O great king, for the next 30 days.
Yes, and anyone who disobeys should be thrown into the lion's den.
That sounds like a good idea. Let it be done!
Daniel, knowing this law has been signed by the king, goes to his room.
Even though the king has made this law, I will continue to pray to God. I am not ashamed of my faith.
As Daniel kneels down to pray, the advisors are spying on him.
Look, Daniel's praying to his God. Let's go and tell the king.
Yes, and he will have to throw Daniel into the lion's den.
Your Majesty, did you not sign a law for that for 30 days anyone who prays to anyone other than you would be thrown in the lion's den?
Yes! And my decision stands.
Well, Daniel has still been praying to his God 3 times a day.
King Darius is distraught and goes to his room alone, filled with regret for signing the law.
What have I done? I need a way out of this. Daniel is a good man.
The advisors are becoming impatient with the king and want justice done.
Your Majesty, the law cannot be changed. It is time to give the punishment for disobeying it.
Okay, throw him in the lion's den.
They lead Daniel to the den and throw him in.
Ah! God, I trust in you. Please protect me from the lions.
Hey, have you ever tasted puppet before?
No, I never quite speak.
King Darius, still filled with regret, is pacing back and forth in his room.
I should have not made that law. Daniel is a good man. I regret what I've done. I hope he will be okay.
The next morning, King Darius goes to the lion's den, hopeful that Daniel is unharmed.
Daniel, are you alive?
Yes, your majesty. God has protected me throughout the night. The lions did not harm me.
Praise to be your God, Daniel. I will immediately release you from the lion's den.
Wow, Daniel, you must have had some serious lion taming skills.
Yeah, did you see so many tricks?
Haha, no, Mackenzie and Ava. It was all God's doing. He shut the lions' mouths and kept me safe.
So grateful that Daniel was unharmed, King Darius made a decree.
From this day forward, I decree that everyone in my kingdom must worship and honor Daniel's God, for he is the one true God.
Yes, Your Majesty. We've seen the power of Daniel's God and we will follow him.
We will no longer be ashamed of our faith.
Back at the playground, the kids are all amazed at the story they just heard.
Just like I was unashamed of my faith in God, we should all be unashamed of the gospel and stand firm in our beliefs.
You're right, Daniel. We should never be afraid to share the good news of Jesus, no matter what.
Well, let's be like Daniel and trust in God, even when faced with challenges.
We can make a difference in the world by being unashamed of the gospel and shining our light for Jesus.
You know, once I tried to share the gospel with a squirrel, but it ran away with my Bible.
Maybe it wanted to read it in its tree.
No matter what happens, let's remember that God is with us, and He will give us the courage to be unashamed of the gospel.